Check it out. Okay, hey everybody, I'm back. It feels like I haven't streamed. I don't know which one it is. Feels like I haven't streamed in like 6 years. Literally have not streamed since last year sometime. But I'm back through the fire and flames and through COVID and Christmas and New Year's. I hope you guys all had a wonderful Christmas break. Or if you celebrated something else, I hope that was wonderful for you as well. Anyway, I'm here, and I'm here to play some games. It's been a long time coming, and I'm finally back to kick some tail. Rasmus says 84. I'm not quite sure it's been that long, but it certainly feels like it being away from you, Rasmus. Let's see. Hi, May. It's good to see you're here as always. Hope you're holding it down at the funeral home. Atlas, what's up? Glad you're here. Demon Flip, it's been a while. I mean, you'll like this beat 'em up then. This is a beat 'em up, and people do actually speed run this. And so I think they did this at a GDQ a few years ago, so you can go look up that run after tonight. But this definitely uses the same sound hardware as like Ninja Turtles and probably Lethal Enforcers and all those early to late mid 90s, pretty much 90s. Konami arcade games, so you'll be able to hear some of that. The soundtrack for this game is very goofy, but it's very good. So again, after the video or the stream, you might want to go and look up the OST to this game. And there's like some rap and like vocals in some of the tracks, which are really goofy, but it's all good and it's all a good time. I'm trying to throw you a bone and be nice here, Rasmus. Just take it. Yeah, that is right. Rasmus is a member of the Discord. You too can join the Torensu Discord. It doesn't cost you anything. Just click on the invite and hop in there, and you can discuss classic arcade games and the channel and whatnot. Anyway, why don't we go ahead and get started and play some games, right? It's been a while. That's what this is about. So this is Konami's Violent Storm. We're going to play some other Konami classics tonight, but we're starting with this game. So let's go. Riven Mike, are you here? Can you ban that guy? It's another one of the spammers. Don't know if you're here, but here we go. I'll get rid of this one. Don't know if Riven is around tonight or not. Oh yeah, we were going to play some Violent Storm. And Jaime, that's 10 demerits for saying that I was a Kyle main. It's 10 points from Gryffindor. Everybody knows I'm best boy Wade here. This is probably my favorite beat 'em up of all time. It's probably a little bit closer to the Simpsons than it is Ninja Turtles. I'm not sure when this game came out in relation to those two games. If I had to guess, it was later. But you can just see this is you can have up to 3 players playing this at one time. The sprite work is just gorgeous. I mean, it's got those big, huge, like screen-filling sprites that it's really hard to do well, but it's just an extremely colorful game. It does have some violence in it. You can hear the music is funky and upbeat. It's extremely 90s. They've got this guy who's like a what's the guy that Bobby Brown? There's a guy that sounds like Bobby Brown that sings one of the later stage theme songs. So it's just a good time all around. And I'll go into some of my issues with the game. It's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty darn good as far as a beat 'em up. You have a jump, so you can do your standard jump kick attacks. Most characters have a combo sequence. Each character is a little bit different. Wade here is kind of an all-rounder. Kyle is very fast, and then Boris is like your big, hard, bulky, heavy-hitting character. I've always liked Wade. He's just he's kind of a pretty boy type character. Can't go wrong with a blonde guy. So that's his special attack. If you press your punch and your jump together, you get a special attack. It consumes HP to use, so you have to use it sparingly. Each character has a special one. Wade's is like a twirling attack. I believe most of the bosses in this can be defeated without even dying or taking a hit if you know what you're doing. It certainly feels a lot less cheap than, say, Ninja Turtles. At KIT, 16-Bit Bump and Briefcase and we played through the old TMNT beat 'em up, and that thing, it definitely feels very cheap. Like there's a lot of times where you just kind of take a hit and you don't feel like there's anything you can do about it. This game feels a lot more fair, at least in these earlier levels. Now we'll get to some BS later in the game, but for now it's not bad at all. And each character has different moves. It's not on the level of like a fighting game as far as complexity, but you can like input certain combinations and get different moves, and it works well. It's fun. What's up, Mooski? How you doing, man? Good to see you again. Ole Miss supremacy, yeah. After the Sugar Bowl, I don't know if Ole Miss is supreme at anything right now, but I'll take a 10-win season any day of the week. This was released in '93. Yeah, and the thing about the speed tech in this, I don't know if you mean like speed running tech or just like the character speed, but I'm not even the speed character. Like Kyle is the fast character. Wade is kind of the all-rounder. Getting my tail kicked here. I need to pay attention. The game also just has a lot of charm. Like, you saw that attack, my character spun around. There's a lot of neat little charming animations and things like that. There was just, this game had a lot of love put into it. You could tell that they really had fun making it. You can actually knock this guy off the train. There's tons of little details like that. Let's see if I can throw these guys. Yeah, you can throw guys in this. One complaint I do have is that, for example, if I'm trying to quickly walk towards the screen and punch, you oftentimes get this spin kick attack instead. But I don't really know of another way they could have implemented that, so I can't be too harsh. But that is kind of annoying sometimes when you're trying to retreat quickly and then you just end up kicking the ground. There's tons of little power-ups and collectibles you can get. So like, for example, you see those baby pigs down there? Watch this. You pick them up, they turn into footballs. And the mama pig doesn't even care. She's just like, whatever, I don't have time for this. There we go. They don't do much damage, but it is fun to pick up the pigs and throw them. If you played on 3 players, the number of enemies increases drastically as well. And the game doesn't really have any slowdown, so it's kind of a testament to how well it's made and all that. It does suffer somewhat from, you'll be hit by enemies off screen from time to time. This level's not so bad, but as we get into level 3, you'll see that more. Kyle is, I don't know, Kyle is kind of, like, he picks his nose, and I just can't play as a character that picks their nose during the match. Wade seems a lot like Lee. This guy can be kind of tricky because of his range. The plot of this game is essentially, it takes place after World War III, at least according to the English poster. And so the world is not completely destroyed, but it's in kind of like ruins, and so governments and things are recovering. And so the 3 main characters, Boris, Kyle, and Wade, are kind of like vigilantes that just go around like beating up bad guys. And their BFF, Sheena, who is the girl up there tied up, has been kidnapped by Red Freddy, who is the right-hand man of, like, Geldo, I think is his name. The game just calls him Geld, I believe. But he's the surprise final boss, and his buddy kidnaps your best girl. And so, because it's the 90s and it's a Konami arcade game, all of this can be solved by walking to the right and beating up everyone that we see. Yeah, I had assumed that that BBH had one credit cleared this. It's not the hardest game, so I assumed he had figured this one out pretty easily. It definitely, it's like a lot more lighthearted Hokuto no Ken in some aspects. Like, it's definitely got that post-apocalyptic, but not 100% post-apocalyptic vibe about it. Just pick up that guy's radio when he gets upset. I don't really like this part because those barrels come out too fast for you to react unless you played this before. I think you can also despawn some enemies by just, like on the sections where you can walk right, just walking away from them. Ow. Got punched me in the face. You know, some other people were probably going to use that door, Wade. You could have just opened it. By gosh, it's Wade with a wooden chair. There's lots of little set pieces like this where there's like just like somebody comes out and starts belly dancing in the background. Stop. Oh, I need the bananas. You'll notice I had a little trouble picking the fat guy up and throwing him. Wade and Kyle can throw those guys, but you have to press the button really hard. The lighter guys, they just do it automatically. Yeah, I did notice the cat as well. I like how the cooks, like this is supposed to be the kitchen, but the cooks like don't have shirts on. I'm pretty sure that these two guys were in Hokuto no Ken. Oh, you know how I feel about multi-hit throws. Enemy jump attacks are really strong. Like you'll find a lot of the times you'll be going in another direction and then they'll just kind of input read you and do like an air jump and knock you down. Oh, there's the cat again. Just for you, Raspy. Hey Mike, what's up? Good to see you. Wait, this is just Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. I've seen this scene before. What's the dude's name? Drigger? Bonesaw is ready! Ow. There is an invisible timer on bosses, so like if you take too long, you'll get time penalized. Oh, yeah, he blocked me. Look at me, I'm gonna 1 credit clear. Ow. I need to figure out the command to consistently do that rush attack. wait. There we go. Was Streets of Rage before or after this game? This is my first game tonight. I was thinking of doing the Simpsons next, since I haven't played through that one in years. Those enemies that are sleeping, you can just walk by them and not wake those up, and you don't have to fight them. It's kind of a neat touch. It was a lucky time to jump. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the barrels, just because of the screen size. The screen scroll is so short, you don't really have a chance to react to that. The spike pads are 100% reference to legendary wrestlers, the Road Warriors. Oh, you guys got to check this out. So, my buddy Plexo over at the Duraku Tenchi Discord cued me in on this. You guys know I did that review of Perfect Soldiers like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So go and listen, and the OST is on YouTube, so you can go look it up. Go listen to the music from Reptilian Stage. Dang it, which button do I have to start? There we go. Go and listen to the music from Reptilian Stage, and then go look up a song called Tied Up by Yellow, as in the Oh Yeah people, and then thank me later. Oh yeah, there's like a steel press that's going to come down and try to smush me. Yeah, see, it got those guys. This game has just the right mix of like violence and like LOL, that's funny. Oh, the fat guy breaks it. Nice. Yeah, I've got some fun stories I can tell about the Simpsons beat 'em up once we get to it. Our local arcade used to have that back in the day. It was fun times. Look, it's Castlevania 64 Speed Tech. You just jump. It's an ice cream cone. There are a ton of healing items in this game, but unfortunately there's very few in the way of like power-ups, like steel girders and things. It could have done with a few more like items that you can wield. I don't know what the tech is for this guy to hit him without getting hit. Doyle. Doy. Probably some speedrun strat to be in, but I don't know what it is. The combos are really satisfying. Usually if you can hit an enemy without getting hit, you can combo them. And it doesn't necessarily do a ton of damage, but it just feels very satisfying. Yeah, see, there's that walk down problem again. I was trying to walk down and I just kept spin attacking. Nice. cannot get the depth perception right on that. You should be able to kick him out of the air there. Still feels more fair than Ninja Turtles. Oh, really? Yellow is definitely an interesting band. I don't know much about them other than, oh yeah, because of Ferris Bueller's Day Out. But I did look them up one time, and apparently they have a very storied history besides that song. So definitely something like if you're into like the backstory behind one-hit wonder bands, you can check out. I think it's Joe in the Shadows is that guy's name. But he's another YouTuber that will, like, he goes and looks up one-hit wonder bands and, like, discovers, like, what happened to them. You know, did they do anything else, that kind of thing. I've found that a lot of one-hit wonder bands have a really good catalog that just never got shown off to the world. In particular, the Vapors from Behind Turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning that song. They released 2 albums and a greatest hits compilation, and they're just like pure fire. Like there's not really a bad song in either of those albums. Oh yeah, we're getting into some of that 90s goofy music now. Stop. It really shows off what that Konami sound chip, whatever it was they were using for this hardware, could do. Ow. You can knock enemies into other enemies very easily, and it's just so satisfying to do. Knocking down the hitting the palm tree makes it drop a coconut for more health. That's kind of neat. Cool. Stop, Haruryukin. See, again, the whole walk down and punch thing got me. Oh yeah, you know about Todd in the Shadows. That guy does good work. He's got a lot of episodes on one-hit wonder bands that are really interesting. I think I watched the one on Soft Cell. I watched... I don't know if he's done one on the Vapors. I kind of did that myself, but he did one on Yellow, and that was how I knew about like kind of their storied history. Very eclectic band. Konami really likes that beat 'em up trope where you're harassed by an enemy throughout the whole game and you don't fight them till the very end, like with Red Freddy here. Yeah, this boss is really something, that's for sure. Mr. Julius. He's just like got really funny voice acting. The bosses are fairly cheap compared to the normal level enemies, but I guess that's to be expected in a beat 'em up in the 90s. But like I said, this game can be beaten with 1 credit, and it can be speed ran, so... I'm not an expert at it. I'm just casual enjoyer. Like if you were to make a meme out of this game, and it would be like average Violent Storm speedrunner, and it would be like the really angry nerdy kid, and then it would be average Violent Storm enjoyer on the right. That would be me, just enjoying it and hanging out. I did manage to finish Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo when I was a kid, though, so I've got that going for me. Ah, the spin attack. A lot of the bosses in this game have like these really annoying like low sweep attacks that they just kind of do unreactably fast. It's kind of annoying. Oh, he has done the vapors? He may not have done it when I watched him last. I haven't watched him in a long time. That's strange that we both picked that. I've been wanting to play this game on stream for a while. And so, you know, I had promised more arcade games for this coming year. And so I was kind of trying to think of, like, you know, what arcade game I was going to play. And then I remembered I had never played through Violent Storm on stream, and I was like, oh, I got to. Oh, did you see the enemy on the boat back there getting seasick? So many little details. And this is, I think this is obviously a Beach Boys song that they ripped off for the music in the stage. One thing that being in the reviewing classic Japanese arcade games business has taught me is copyright, they don't care. They don't care one bit. I mean, they just, you know, Hiram just completely ripped off that yellow song for Reptilian stage. I mean, it is verbatim the same thing. Go listen to them. I just picked up a dictionary in a beat 'em up game. What the heck? The fat guys are definitely the worst, just because they take up so much room. Oh no, I got body slammed. Yeah, see the low kick attack? And it doesn't just damage you, it knocks you on the ground. Give me that orange. Aren't you glad I played Violent Storm tonight? Let's see, there's like a crystal ball and a catcher's mitt down there. The cherry from Pac-Man. It's always a good game when you can pick up a metal barrel and throw it at somebody. And here's the totally not a Ninja Turtles rip-off character. The game's poster, by the way, references this guy and says that the enemies are so strong they use manhole covers as armor. And they were almost certainly referring to this guy. Yeah, obviously a Ninja Turtle. Like, what's that? We don't have the Ninja Turtles license anymore? No problem. This guy, like, he's obviously supposed to be referencing Ninja Turtles, but he looks like he could be a Ninja Turtles villain anyway. Like, Donatello, who's that? Oh, it's Jim Beam. He's Manhole Man. I don't know who Jim Beam is. I guess it's I was trying to reference, like, there's several not Looney Tunes Ninja Turtle villains that I remember who had just like normal names. Like, what's the guy that like Casey Jones, I think, was one of them, and then like Baxter Stockman, Rat King, you know, just kind of normal names. Everyone shops at the same store in game. Yeah, true. Or character likeness like Mike Bison. Konami especially did not care for the ultimate proof play Rock and Rage. What is Rock and Rage? I haven't heard of that one. So picking up the non-food items like gives you score, like points, which is under the default settings you don't get extra lives for points, but there is a setting that dip switch arcade operators can set so that you get extra lives every so many points. I don't know why that wasn't the default setting, because it kind of makes the points useless otherwise, because I just don't know too many people that are like going for a high score in Violent Storm. You just get to look at pictures of all the bosses here. Fortunately, there's not like an all bosses gauntlet here. I've never been a fan of that trope in games. Especially like arcade beat 'em ups, like fight all the bosses again type deal. With Dabble here being the exception. It's just called Bull. And that guy is literally a statue. Getting surrounded is pretty bad in Violent Storm because, like, you can't... There's so much stuff that knocks you down, and you won't have time to knock the other guy down before the other one comes up and, like, taps you and you fall to the ground. Anita Sarkeesian would hate this section. Ooh. And I believe that's the dog from the beginning of the game, by the way, that's up there. Destroy their vintage arcade equipment. Crystal ball for some reason. So you don't have to do this, but you can rescue those ladies back there and they'll tell you thank you and start clapping. Yeah, you know something big's coming up when you get all the health items right here. F's in the chat for Penta. I believe they were referencing that Yoon Penguin Pentagari or whatever it is for the Super Nintendo. Or NES. I don't think they ever made another one of those. Yeah. None of the bosses in this feel like particularly overly difficult either for a beat 'em up in the 90s. Like when me and the boys played through TMNT at Kit, like the Shredder fight was a legit like 10-15 minutes of just like getting killed and then standing up and using your invincibility frames to hit him. Like if you don't know the speed tech for that stuff, you're gonna have to pump a lot of quarters into that to beat it. Oh, I was negative on block there. Oh.
Help me! Can't you knock before you enter? I'll show you no mercy!
I'm not really sure who this guy is supposed to be ripping off. He reminds me of Marco from Kaiser Knuckle. Gosh, this guy's so much health. Now, this guy's definitely reminiscent of Shredder as far as the cheat factor. I'm sure there's some speed tech though to handle this guy. Oh, there's even pizza. That's so much damage. I broke my own rule. I used a multi-hit throw. The bosses also get new attacks when their health reaches like half, which is a nice touch. Oh, it also shows the attack names up there under his health bar, which is cool. I just remembered it did that. I really want to go and watch that speed run again to see like how you're supposed to beat these guys without getting hit. spin attack him at this point. There we go. Penta is the main character of a bunch of Konami arcade games, including Anarctic Adventure, as you said, Yun Penguin Monogatari. So the final boss is a kid who can transform into the Hulk, essentially.
I knew you would come to rescue me.
I mean, couldn't you do that when you were a kid? I like how the car is still like beat to crap when he shows up at the end. I don't know, man. Kyle strikes me as a mouth breather. He strikes me as a mouth breather, like breather. Every time you see him, he's like. Anyway, that's Violent Storm. It's a super fun game. Not just the longest, so you could probably sit down with some buddies and play it sometime. It's pretty good. It's P good, as they say. Oh yeah, we got to enter because we're, at the arcade in the 90s. We have to do our due diligence here with a name entry screen. Bobby Brown's Violent Storm. There we go. I was actually thinking of doing the Simpsons beat 'em up, but I'm sure we'll have time for another. Did you have a request for Konami dum? Here, let me put up I'm still here. I'm just going to put the standby screen up while I swap over. I was thinking maybe Simpsons beat 'em up. Sunset Riders is pretty fun. If you've got a request, Konami request in particular. Asterix. I will check that out in just a second. Probably already been, the stream's probably already been copyright struck for this intro here. Here we go. Apparently we're playing Marge because I don't want to have to go. We'll be Marge. I know that a mother's love for her children is unstoppable. Let's see. Jump. There we go. This one definitely moves a lot faster than Violent Storm. I'm not the biggest fan of Marge. This is the first time I've played through as Marge. I'm usually Homer or Bart. I think I've done Lisa a time or two as well. We'll go with this. It's fun. This will be something new. I've never played as Marge, so it'll be neat to see that Marge exclusive levels later on.
Whoa, look out! Whoa!
Marge dyes her hair. It's been gray as a board since 1973.
Whoa, look out! Whoa!
Oh yeah, so I can tell some arcade days stories about this game. So way back in the day, our arcade was a Aladdin's Castle before it was bought by Namco, and it was turned into a timeout at that point. And so I remember when they got this game, we had gone to the mall to do some Saturday night or Friday night shopping or whatever, because we lived away from the mall. We were in a small town, so we had to drive about an hour to get to the nearest mall, arcade, all that. So we went, and at that time I wasn't really allowed to watch The Simpsons, but compared to stuff that like adult animation today, like Family Guy and stuff, it was nothing. So the fact that there was a Simpsons beat 'em up and at the arcade meant, of course, I wanted to play that, you know. But my dad was either being a really bad parent or the cool dad, depending on your opinion of such. And he let me play the Simpsons beat 'em up while we were waiting on my mom. And so I remember he dropped a 5. You know, in the 90s, that's big money. He dropped a 5 in the token machine. So I felt like I had just all the tokens in the world. And I used every single bit of the $5 playing this game. Made it to the graveyard level, and then I remember telling him I want another token, and he's like, there are no more, we gotta go now. Yeah, Aladdin's Castle was lit, man. They had all like the best games. So yeah, strange story about this game. So Aladdin's Castle, they would swap out their inventory in their games fairly often. I don't know if they just like put different stuff on display or if they were like sending it to another Aladdin's Castle. I don't know how they did it, but anyway. This game went away for a while. And then like a couple, I don't know how long it was, there's no way to tell. They brought it back. And so this particular time, I was at the mall with my grandmother on like a Saturday morning. This is like 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, and they were open. Well, anyway, I see that this game is back, and of course I wanted to play it. So she wasn't as generous as Dad. She just gave me like a couple bucks, not 5. She didn't drop a 5er. Oh, I didn't know that would come flying out. Anyway. So she gives me a few bucks, and like I know there's like no way I'm going to be able to finish the game, but I just want to play it because it's really cool, right? So I go up and start playing, and I'm a young kid, right? I'm pretty young at this point. So I go up, I start playing this game. There's really nobody else in the arcade. My grandmother's like, hey, I'm going to go out to the food court, get something to eat, don't die, get kidnapped or whatever. And so she leaves. And then this random guy, like fully grown guy, comes up. And he's like, hey kid, do you mind if I play Simpsons with you? And you know, this is a fairly empty arcade at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm a young child, I'm by myself. And there's this fully grown man that wants to play Simpsons beat 'em up with me. I guess in the 90s it was a simpler time, but anyway, I didn't think anything about it at the time. So this guy comes up, he asks if he could play Simpsons beat 'em up. Yeah, sure, whatever. And so he starts playing with me. And I eventually noticed he's been playing a long time. I was Bart, he was Lisa. And eventually I noticed that I wasn't having to pay any more tokens because whenever I die, he was spotting me. And yeah, I was a kid. I wasn't going to say anything, like I didn't care. Didn't know that was kind of strange. So anyway, long story short, we end up playing through the entire game together. Me and this random, like fully grown man, and I'm just a young kid. My grandmother, by like halfway through the game, has showed up and has realized that I'm playing with this like complete stranger who's much older than me, and so like she's watching from a distance, I guess. But we finished the entire game, and like he was telling me like, hey, did you know you can like stand next to each other and there's like a secret team up attack you can do, and all this other kind of stuff. So like the dude knew the game. So we finish the game, I leave. I'm like, hey, thanks or whatever. I still had a bunch of tokens I brought with me next time because like I said, the dude was just spotting me every time I died. He didn't care. And so as I meet back up with my grandmother and go to leave, I look back and some other guy has walked up and has started playing The Simpsons. And I'll be darned if the guy that played with me doesn't walk up to him and was like, hey, do you mind if I play Simpsons with you? So to this day, I don't know if he was like a Konami representative and he was just like watching people play the game, or if he just really loved The Simpsons beat 'em up. I don't know. But that dude was just like, everybody who was playing that day, he was coming up and being like, hey, can I play with you? So no clue what was up with that. I've always wondered about that dude. Like, did he just really love The Simpsons, or like what was he doing? Usually if I finish a game in the arcade, like I immediately want to do something else because I've probably been standing in that spot like an hour. I probably wasted bukus of tokens or money or whatever. But not this dude, man. He just went from one game right into the next. No idea what the dude's deal was. It's an arcade. If someone asks me if they want to co-op with me at the arcade, I'm down. Yeah, I mean, I am too, usually. It was just kind of strange looking back that I was like, you know, I was a young kid. I won't say my exact age, just for giving my age away and all that, but it's kind of like, you know, if you were like a young kid mashing buttons at Tekken and like one of the teenagers came up and was like playing with you. Like, usually they're interested in competition, so they're not going to play with you, but this guy did. I just found it kind of strange that he beat the game and then he immediately wanted to go play through the whole thing again. But whatever, it was fine. I got to tell all my friends I finished The Simpsons beat 'em up, so that was cool. It's Speed Racer! Now one time, this was years later, when Time Crisis 4 first came out, I finished that game when it very first came out because it was still like $1 to play that game. And so I had like, I don't remember how old I was at this point. I may have been working because for whatever reason I had some money. And we were at the arcade, and I was waiting on my folks, and I said, okay. And mom or dad was like, hey, are you almost done? We're going to leave soon. I'm like, yeah, just let me burn these last few dollars. And so I'm like, how can I burn these few dollars? Oh, $1 a play game. That'll probably burn it pretty quick, right? So I hopped on the brand new Time Crisis 4. And they must have had the machine set on easy. Like the guy, like I eventually got to know the guy that that operated the arcade on night shift. And he was a gamer, man. Like he would play after hours and stuff in there, and like he would let some of the local Tekken guys come in there and play. Like he'd put the machine on free play kind of stuff. So I wonder if like somebody like him had put the machine on like easy or whatever. But anyway, it's $1 a play. I hop on here. Next thing I know, I'm getting fairly close to the end of the game. And this kid walks up. He's not a kid, but he's younger than me. And he's like, wow, you're doing pretty good. I was like, yeah. He's like, are you going to finish it? And I'm like, well, I'm going to try. He's like, here, I'll help you. And so me and that kid ended up beating Time Crisis 4 in the arcade when it was brand new. It was one of those moments where we drew a crowd. And you just can't do that anymore. Like, you're just a loser playing Tekken online nowadays. You're not going to draw a crowd because you're good at a game. Unless it's on like Twitch or something, but it's not the same. Like, you know, I'm not even that good at Time Crisis, but once people figured out that we were going to finish it, like people started gathering around to watch. It was pretty neat. I'm a decent shot, but that kid was pretty good. He had some aim. I don't remember these characters from the show. Marge has really good pokes. Like you can just poke most of these enemies out with her. That attack seems kind of OP. You should ban that. Got his buddy. There we go. What's up, Ernest? Long time no see. Congrats on the Oculus. Enjoy your 2 or 3 games. I have also played through Lucky and Wild with my now ex-boss. We've had Lucky and Wild. I never played it because usually the one of the guns was always kind of screwy, so I never played it. But we did have it. I do know the game you're talking about. I finished Chase HQ one time. Does that count? This was a machine that was on free play though, so I just kind of brute forced my way through it. Ow. If we weren't just kind of focusing on Konami tonight, I would have picked up Denjin Makai. That's another fun Band Presto beat 'em up that most people don't know about. Oh, the Sailor Moon beat 'em up is actually pretty good too. That Band Presto made for the arcade, it's low key legit. Like it's pretty darn good. I wasn't just the biggest fan of Sailor Moon, the cartoon, but the beat 'em up, the arcade one, not the one for Super Nintendo. That one's terrible. But the arcade one is pretty GG. And it's got like little anime cutscenes for when you activate your special move. It's pretty good for a Band Presto game. Their stuff was kind of mediocre, but that one was pretty good. Moe's Tavern is a lot bigger than it looks in the show, I'll tell you that. I think this is even more forgiving than Violent Storm. No wonder I was able to get to the graveyard level as a kid. There we go. Oh, you got COVID too, Ernest? I just got over it. So I had to have a kidney stone blown up a few weeks ago, or a week or so ago, and we took the kids to stay with a grandparent, and the grandparent got COVID while the kid was there, and so the kid brought it home to the rest of us, and the kid was fine. Like my daughter just like kicked COVID in the behind, man. She had one night where she was very sick. She had a high fever. But kids are so strong, man. They are so strong. And the next morning, she woke up, and she was still very tired, but she was not as sick as she was that one night. And then by day 3, like, she was fine. Like, you would not even know that she had been sick. She was so, just like, destroyed COVID. And then, like, me and her mother are like, oh my gosh, I want to die on day 3. I had my vaccine, so it wasn't as severe. Like, I've known people that it's COVID's so strange. Like, I've known people that got vaccinated and had a really hard time with COVID, and then there are people who did get vaccinated and they got COVID and it was fairly mild. That's kind of how mine was. The main thing was just fatigue. Like, I never really had high fever or like stuffy nose. I was just extremely tired. And like, I still kind of wear out at night. Like, that's how I know I'm still trying to fight it off, like, to get over it 100%. Tonight and yesterday were a lot better, but like this past weekend, at like 8 p.m., I was like, dang, I'm freaking tired. I just want to go to bed. It's like 8 p.m. And I'm like, oh, I have kids. I can't. Never mind. But yeah, I appreciate all the kind messages you guys left on my post about it. I really do have some of the best fans and subs. You guys were really cool. There wasn't a negative thing to say in any of that. So I greatly appreciate it. I'm feeling much better. Ooh, I forgot about these lumberjack guys. Oh yeah, that's gonna break and try to... Oh yeah, kids are super strong. It's no wonder that kids have done so well versus COVID. I mean, when your body is literally still growing and your cells are like dividing constantly, I can kind of understand it, because it's like, oh, you're going to take over my cells, virus? Well, who cares? I'm just going to make, 50 more because I'm growing at like an inch a month. Who cares? And then you got me over here. It's just like, I want to die. Konami definitely knew how to get licenses in the 90s. Like, they would try some stuff, like TMNT was perfect, like just right for a beat 'em up to be made, and so they did. And then the Simpsons isn't necessarily what I would think about for a beat 'em up, but it works. Like, they made it work. But yeah, the Terensu family, we're done, hopefully, with COVID for a while now. The kids, like, they don't even care. They're just like, whatever. But Ernest, I hope you get to feeling better. I hope it's not keeping you and the missus down. Bet you're enjoying that Resident Evil 4 in 3D. I watched the Spear Hunters review of the RE4 in Oculus, and apparently they like redid some of the puzzles and stuff to better suit 3D. I'm tired in the mornings, better in the afternoon. My case was mild. Same thing with the fatigue. Yeah, that's pretty much like me, except backwards. I was getting tired at night. Like, I ran maybe a 99, 100 degree fever for like 2 days, and then the fever went away and it was just like fatigue. My daughter, she had fever maybe a day and a half, and she was done with it. And my wife, she had fever for several days, but it was very low. We didn't like test the particular variant or anything. I assume it's Omicron because that's everywhere now in my area. Which is like, if you're gonna get it, it's the one to get. It's super weak. And it was pretty much the same thing with all of us. One really hard night and then just like fatigue for a few days. But I'm glad you're having mild symptoms and no major issues. Thus far, it looks like we're going to get out of it like that as well. I never really liked this dream level very much, but I understand why they did it. It was a good excuse to have some surreal, goofy enemies. these up. Yeah. This game is a lot easier than I remember. I promise I didn't mess with the dip switches. This is just the default. Double bar. Well, you couldn't fight Mr. Burns' goons all game. Yeah, true. But I mean, they were good with you doing it for like 5 or 6 levels, so they obviously weren't too worried. I should play some Lethal Enforcers. That's a fun game. Oh yeah, that was fair. Pretty much just poke them out. When in doubt, poke it out. The music in this boss is very disconcerting. It's like very chaotic. Oh yeah, I forgot he grew hands. Can't hit him. Oh dear. I wonder if they got the actual voice actors to record this, or if it's just like sound alikes, or if they just like took audio from the show. You used to could buy this on, I think, like Xbox Live. Vacuum is just like insane. Marge has got to be on top too. She's got to be. There we go. See you, Ernest. Take care. Nice of you to drop by.
How's my hair?
I'm still pissed they didn't make a Guyver game after all these years. And the only reason I know what Guyver is because my Japanese teacher in college had a whole Guyver manga she let me have to practice reading.
Hey,
Bonus
wake
stage.
up and find Maggie. Ready? Go!
I did it, Nico. I won. That face. I like how the show doesn't really have a clear antagonist, so they just said, "Ah, it's Mr. Burns." Of course, my memory of very early Simpsons is a bit hazy, so maybe he was more the antagonist back then. I do remember the whole who shot Mr. Burns angle. That was a fairly big deal at the time. As a child, I probably liked The Simpsons more, but as an adult, I understand the genius of King of the Hill. So the who got blown up at the Megalo Mart subplot was probably the better one than who shot Mr. Burns. Because The Simpsons kind of copped out with who shot Mr. Burns, but there was an actual like show ramification for King of the Hill. I think it was it might have been TV Guide at the time. This is showing my age that I remember actually getting TV Guide in the mail. They were advertising the season premiere of King of the Hill, and they had like these little post-it cards for like who is it that would die in the season premiere. And I had the one that was Hank, and it was like, there's no way they're killing off Hank Hill. The show is literally about him. There's no way.
Whoa! Look out! Whoa! Oh
Having a level take place in like a TV station was a good excuse to have some funny backdrops in different locales. Stars are quick. I like how that died. I don't know if the Mr. Washi Washi episode was the thing yet, but I missed an opportunity for that here. Anybody can read kanji? Tell me what that kanji back there says. Weapons are really strong in the Simpsons beat 'em up. Like, they last a long time, and they do good damage too. Reminds me of that boss from Bad Dudes that divides into two. Okay, I get the point. Enough spawning moves.
How's my hair?
Kabuki the Great, thank you. $10 points for Gryffindor. Thanks for Utah. It just needs that vocal call thing where the guy goes, yo! That'd be perfect. We should go back to the trope of when enemies are about to die, they flash red. Imagine if you were playing like, I don't know, what's a game that still has bosses in it these days? Imagine if you were playing Mass Effect 2 and you get to the Human Reaper at the end and it starts flashing red when it's about to die. Oh, there we go. There's the yo thing. Come on. And we get the picture. There we go.
How's my hair? How's my hair?
I've actually won credit cleared Haunted Castle. It's been a long time, but I've done it. Yeah, Homer was like an icon in Japan, and they had like Mr. Washi Washi or whatever. Oh yeah, Mr. Sparkle was like season 9. And it's crazy that you can say that and that like there's still seasons after that. That's how long The Simpsons has been going on at this point.
Welcome to my world.
It's kind of funny they made Smithers a villain because like in the show he's like a complete pushover. At least the last I saw. I haven't watched The Simpsons in years. Probably the last Simpsons piece of media I messed around with was the Simpsons movie. That was the last Simpsons thing I cared about and watched, and it was okay. But back in the day, The Simpsons was a Sunday night tradition at our house. Got home from church and then you'd watch like King of the Hill and then Simpsons. At one point Futurama, I used to watch that. My folks never cared for Futurama, so if I was going to watch Futurama, usually I would go to the TV in my room for that. Which could just pick up like the 3 static channels over the air because I had no like cable or antenna in my room. But I could pick up Fox, so I would always watch Futurama. And usually Malcolm in the Middle. Malcolm in the Middle was legit, so I would watch that too. Dang it, Smithers. Yeah.
How's my hair?
You have DVDs of the first 11 Simpsons seasons of The Simpsons or Malcolm in the Middle?
Excellent.
I like how it's excellent as part of the music there. I would dare to guess that the guy who composed the music for Haunted Castle also did this, because the music here sounds very similar to the final Dracula fight in Haunted Castle. It's definitely some of the same hardware we used to compose it, I have no doubt about that. Yeah, like that part right there. That sounds very similar to Haunted Castle final boss thing. Welcome to Die, Simpsons. Figure out the strat.
When you think you're over here.
Nice reusing voice clips there. Oh yeah, the guy that I beat the game with, the older guy that was like playing Simpsons with people all day. This wasn't the first time he'd played the game because he was able to explain this boss fight to me before we got there. He was like, oh, we're just going to go straight to the boss. It's going to be Mr. Burns. And once his armor breaks, you just hit him with one hit and he dies. So this guy loved him some Simpsons. Like, this was the Chip and Joanna games of the Simpsons arcade game. This guy knew his stuff. Seems like you just poke this guy out, like all the other bosses. Poke it out. Get a couple free hits on this phone. Boss kind of overstays its welcome just a little bit, but it's okay. This was the money grubbing 90s. Salamander is a tough game too, so kudos to him. It's a tough one. I think I've only played that a few times, the NES version. Like when people think about difficult shooters on the NES, they're going to think about stuff like Life Force, Salamander, R-Type. I think Gradius was on the NES. My dumb self had Alpha Mission. Have you guys ever heard of Alpha Mission? Alpha Mission sucked. I don't even think I ever cleared the first stage when I was a kid. I never got past the first stage of Alpha Mission. I only played the Alpha Mission. Maybe that was the whole game. It was just the one mission. That's why it's called Alpha Mission, because it was just like one mission. But like, you would fly from area to area and like pick up, like the power-ups were letters. It wasn't even anything special, it was just letters. Yeah, thank goodness I don't have epilepsy. I hope none of my viewers do. Yeah, epilepsy warning, guys. Thank you, Chad. Get vacuum, Mr. Burns. Yeah, Alpha Mission is just... You know my Perfect Soldiers review? It's like a game that it's not bad enough to be good, and it's not good enough to be good. It just is, and so it's extremely boring. There's actually an Alpha Mission 2. There's an arcade version as well, but not the biggest fan of the old Alpha Mission. Rasmus, you said you wanted to see Asterix, right? You said that's a Konami beat 'em up? Yep, he's dead. The entire show's canon is just ruined. Well, she's dead. Alright, so I'm going into this blind. I've never played Asterix before. Is this the same thing as like Asterix and Obelix or whatever it's called? I hope there's no we'll be Asterix. I hope there's no like Rastan S get to the last level, you try to continue and it just kills you instantly type thing. I like the biff biff. Yeah, this is definitely going for a more cartoony vibe. Like they're just picking up and slapping the guy. Does she give a power up or something? Again, my first time playing this, so excuse any poor understanding of mechanics. It's a beat 'em up. It's not like it's Europa Universalis 4. I've lost control. So is this supposed to be like a native Englishman like kicking the Romans out? Is that what's going on here? I'm surprised they didn't make a Crayon Shin-Chan beat 'em up, but that show doesn't have enough characters, so the choices would be weird. What's the worst franchise to get a beat 'em up? What do you guys think? What if there was like a Melrose Place beat 'em up? Or like, I don't know, what's just like an awful beat? Like Gossip Girl, the beat 'em up. I think the OG Gossip Girl would be a pretty darn good beat 'em up game because you got that really solid core cast of characters there that could be the playable characters. And the whole game could just be like fighting your way to the top of Bart Bass's tower. Yeah, so could somebody get on that? Gossip Girl, the beat 'em up. The original, the new one is awful. It's the old shield wall technique. How about Gilmore Girls, the beat 'em up? Yeah, those are definitely Romans if they're saying like Ave when they get hit. About to die. Yeah, more games should do that. Just put about to die by the enemy so you can manage your strategy effectively. A Golden Girls beat 'em up? Yeah, Gaul. Okay. Oh yeah, I could read that. Yeah, I totally was able to read all that. A Barney beat 'em up? It's just like, it's a two-player beat 'em up starring Barney, and then player 2 is like Bebop or whatever the other dinosaur's name is. Well, I didn't even know what I was doing. Fine, I don't need a bonus. It's this nice little comic here. Oh, if it's in Gaul, I guess it makes sense that there's French there. Yeah, I see what's going on here. I'm laying down what they're picking up. Alright. Did I get that backwards? Anyway, some of you Mugen guys, can you get on the Golden Girls beat 'em up? Trying to think of some good like 90s sitcoms. My mom likes soap operas from time to time. Maybe we should have like The Young and the Restless beat 'em up. But is Victor the main villain, or is he a playable character? Maybe it's like Knights of the Round, where like you beat Victor and you can use a code to play as him. I don't know. Dark Shadows, the beat 'em up. I mean, you can just make a beat 'em up out of anything, I think. Any franchise, any property could become a beat 'em up. Because you just walk to the right and beat 'em up. That's all you do. I wish I could ride the horse. That'd be interesting. Are Asterix and Obelisk based off of like actual Gaul military leaders of the time, or is that just something they came up with? The Moesha the beat 'em up. How about the Bernie Mac show beat 'em up game? Or My Wife and Kids. Saved by the Bell could be a beat 'em up. There's so many that you could do. Instead of playing all these lame Konami games tonight, I should have just done a 3-hour stream of Kaneko's DJ Boy, aka the best beat 'em up in existence. That game's up there with 64th Street at Detective Story as far as boring beat 'em ups. I was almost abducted. I don't think I was abducted. Like, you could think that, maybe. But considering the guy was literally just waiting for people to play Simpsons so he could go play it with them, I think it was more about that guy just really wanted to play some Simpsons. Although these days one could see why like an adult would be kind of nervous in that situation. If some like strange like adult was wanting to play games with their kids. The world, it's probably about the same as it was, honestly, but it just doesn't feel like it's as safe of a place as it used to. Now here's an interesting idea. A up-scrolling section in a beat-em up. You never really see that very much. I didn't know that was a trap. Did BBH One Credit clear Rolling Thunder 2 yet? That's a really hard game. Give me the power up. Sesame Streets of Rage. Oh, that's an excellent one. Married with Children beat 'em up. Again, that's one of those, like, I guess, like, assuming it was a Konami 4-player beat 'em up, I guess it would be like Al, Peg, Kelly, and then Bud would be your playable characters. And you could have like a level that like takes place in their neighborhood with like Marcy as the boss. And then there could be a level that takes place at Al's shoe store. And like one of the big fat women that he's always complaining about having to sell shoes to could be the boss. I don't really know what the end game to the Married with Children beat 'em up would be. Like, do you like go to a no ma'am meeting or something? Like, I don't know what happens at the end of that.
Let's go.
I feel like this Egypt level is like the longest beat 'em up level in history. Oh. I had a good thing going on, I messed it up. Still laughing about the idea of the Gilmore Girls beat 'em up. About to die. Quite possibly the most blunt beat 'em up. Clearly Married with Children ends like Double Dragon and you fight each other. I don't know, like I think that Peg and Al, for all their discrepancies, I think they really did love each other. But Married with Children is probably one of the more accurate pictures of marriage. I won't say it's accurate. It exaggerates the less fun parts of marriage, like to the 10th degree. But it's definitely not always sunshine and rainbows. Like there's some tough moments, and there's like stuff that you do that drives each other crazy. That's like always going to be an issue. Married with Children definitely shows that and parodies it to great effect. Now there are some qualities that of course Al and Peg both had that were despicable that you should never emulate at all. But the show is a parody, obviously. You had a lot of these like 80s and 90s sitcoms that presents marriage as like this super easy, we always just hug it out type thing. Not so much the case. Oh, a ballista. I love a good ballista. I wish they had made the voices a little louder or turned the music down so that you could hear the voices, because it sounds like they have something funny to say, but I can't hear it because there's just so much going on.
Let's go.
Being attacked by a man with maracas. The whip guy is definitely the most annoying one. He's got range. Done like no damage to these guys. I need the secret Discord tech to beat these guys. There we go.
Let's go.
As soon as you hit this one, the guy with a whip hits you.
Let's go.
I guess those aren't maracas, those are drumsticks. For like boat rowing drums. And yeah, you can go further ahead. And Always Sunny beat 'em up. I need to watch that. Everybody says that show is really funny. I've seen some clips on YouTube that were pretty funny. Butter, you win! Maybe I should just shut the stream down and turn my channel into a 24/7 Dragon Master stream. Oh, her name is Panacea.
Help me.
Oops.
Help me.
That's not gonna get annoying at all.
Help me. Help me.
Maybe I should just make my channel nothing but the Popeye arcade game. Do you think there's a market for that on YouTube? Just 24/7 Popeye. That's a game I haven't played in a long time.
Help me.
That's like some formative childhood memories. Playing the Popeye arcade game. Do you ever play a game in the arcade when you were really, really little and you completely forget about it, and then one day as an adult you see it on like YouTube or something, and like it triggers like these deep recessed memories?
Help me.
It doesn't even have to be a good game. You just remember it because you played it when you were so young.
Crazy.
This guy reminds me of a Princess Bride character for some reason. I think it's the bandana. Oh. The bosses here are somewhere between Ninja Turtles and Violent Storm, with Simpsons being at the very bottom as far as difficulty. This is definitely closer to the Ninja Turtles side, I think. And enemies have a lot of health here too. Or maybe it's just because there's a meter and you realize it more. I don't seem to have like a special attack or anything either. Definitely one to steal money from the kiddos. 24-hour Super Pitfall. I've never played one of those games. Is that a bad one? Yeah, this boss is not going as planned. See, this is my problem with beat 'em up games, is they give you these really cool combination moves, and then they train you to use them against lesser enemies, and then you get to a boss and you try to punch them more than once and they just hit you. Which I get the bosses have to be more challenging, but I wish there were ways to, I don't know, like there were more like attacks you could dodge and get a full combo in on them, because that's very satisfying to land your full combo. But a lot of times, if you don't want to die in these old arcade games, it's just these kind of hit and run strats. Which I guess that's just beat 'em ups for you. What is Popeye no Ego Asobi? It's like, was that Popeye Plays English or something like that? I will say I do like that they were willing to try some new stuff with this. I'll give them points for that. Like the whole like up and down like vertical sections and levels and hopping between the minecarts. That's interesting. You usually don't see stuff like that in a beat 'em up. So good on them for trying something new. Today, 24 hours of Street Fighter the movie, The Game, starring Knuckles from the Devil May Cry series. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the invincibility power-up. It's kind of annoying, to be honest. Like, it does good damage, but you can't control your character. And he just kind of does his own thing, so you don't really feel super powerful when you use it. They should have done it like Rabbit Punch, where you get like the glowing aura and the tail behind you and just give him like the super fast running sprite, and anything you get gets one shot. That would have been fine. I don't even know where my character is. Speaking of DJ Boy, I actually have seen and played a DJ Boy cabinet in the wild. And it was at a dentist office of all places. Because I had to go to the pediatric dentist for a while when I was a kid. And when I went, that guy had a very small arcade. It was like 4 or 5 games in there. And one time I went and he had like the arcade Punch Out and DJ Boy. Street Fighter, the movie, the game, the arcade, the stream, real battle on film. I like it. If I could just get Alan Noon in here to talk about the development of the game, yeah, sure. Which he has shown up on Street Fighter, the movie, the game streams before. Maybe we'll do a Strata stream one night. And some of you guys can tweet at him or something to tell him to come join us. He's had a lot of interesting things to say online about their games. I reached out to him for some information about Bloodstorm a couple years ago when I was making that review. And he put me in touch with the guy that wrote Bloodstorm Confidential, which is like the story/strategy guide for the game that Strata put out. I know he said that, I forget where he said this, but he said originally Bloodstorm wasn't going to be quite as violent as the final version. And he said in his opinion the game was a lot better before they like decided, oh, we have to compete with Mortal Kombat, this game has to be ultra violent. So who knows, somewhere out there could be a copy of a toned down but marginally better Bloodstorm, so just keep that in mind. Hey Wizard, how you doing? Welcome. 24-hour Mario teaches typing? Yeah, let's not. Wait a minute. There was a Popeye companion to Donkey Kong Jr. Math? The heck? Can I go back to the time before I knew that was a thing?
Do you like to fight?
A bull? Hey, it's the bull from Fighter's Destiny.
Let's go!
Ooh. Oh yeah, he's about to charge straight ahead and then he just moves up and hits you. It's great. Okay, so I think the trick is to get behind the bull, maybe? Yeah, just get in free hits. If you can get behind it. I'm sure there's some speedrunner out there with a no continue clear of this. But it is definitely not this one. Oh, did I just pick the bull up? So that makes it infinitely better. Ooh! Yeah, like I tried hitting him 3 times and I got hit. So I was like, okay, next time I'll do 2 and dodge. Still got hit. About to die. Come on, pick the bowl up. Oh, he turned into meat. Castlevania would be proud. This is Konami, I guess. Have you beat Cuphead? I've actually never played Cuphead. I had it on my... I think it's still on my Steam wish list. But it's just one of those things I've never been in the market for a game and then saw it and bought it. I would probably enjoy it. Off to India, I see. Little, just smidgen heavy on the stereotypes in this game. But we'll make it. What is it? What is even going on? So you got... We're flying on the carpet while in a thunderstorm while it rains chickens. What is even happening? Oh yeah, it's all about the adding quarters. That's the whole reason they do that. Or the bosses will like flash red and stuff like that. But like in the Simpsons in particular, they flash red very early. Everything is happening. Yeah, I don't know much about Asterix. Like, I assume it's based off an old, like, French or Spanish comic or something like that. Because of the comic panels and like the fight the Roman invader type influence. But it looks like I'm getting onto some wacky globe-trotting hijinks, though. Okay, I got it. The Andy Griffith Show beat 'em up. You play as Andy, Barney, and Aunt May. Or Aunt B. I don't remember. I think it was Aunt B. And you just like beat up drunks and miscreants in Mayberry the whole game. Mugen, authors, get on it. Grace us with the Andy Griffith Show beat 'em up. Maybe it could use like the really high frame count digitized actors like Death Cargo. So that way we could have like Plasma versus Andy Griffith. And then Necrostorm could just sue us all. The Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, this beat 'em up has just kind of lost my attention. I'm not. As far as I can tell, there's no like special use your health attack. There's like a dash and things, but enemies are kind of spongy. What in the actual? Can Gauntlet Legends arcade game be 1 credit clear since the player's health drains over time? That's a good question. That'd be one for Rasmus and BBH, I think. What is even going on? I can't hit him. Oh, he shoots lightning. Yeah, the boss just like goes off screen and shoots lightning. Like I can't hit him. There's nothing I can do to get up there. And the bosses take like 6 years to kill in this game anyway, so. I could have finished the first level of Jet Set Radio Future in the time it took me to do that. Yeah, they really needed a better text display mechanism because the thing just goes by so fast you can't read it. Whenever I play bonus games and arcade games, I always think of Dragon Master just because of how ridiculous that voice is. One! Yeah, Leif Erikson, you better be scared. Oh, I could have got them all, but he started sliding. What in the world? Oh, this has got to be it. Versus Caesar. Ave Kaiser. Yeah, let's not and say we didn't. You can demon flip on out of here if you want to see this game for 24 hours. I mean, it's not the worst game. It's just if I had the choice between this or Violent Storm, I'm going to pick Violent Storm. And if it wasn't Konami Night, I'd rather play the Sailor Moon beat 'em up by Band Presto. That's the same guys that made Genjin Makai too, so they've got some really solid arcade beat 'em ups. Yeah, I never knew this game existed until now. I knew there was like the Asterix Genesis game or something like that, but I never knew there was an arcade beat 'em up based off the same property.
like to fight?
Yeah, I don't know the tech either. I mean, that's any beat 'em up, right? Like when you can go to the arcade and like show off, like, oh look, I'm beating the boss and I'm not even taking any hits. I bet there's some speed tech for this game that makes it a lot better. Some games are good speed games, as they say. But then again, this is coming from somebody who thinks the N64 Castlevanias were the pinnacle of the series, so just take anything I say with a grain of salt, even though I'm right. What other game lets you pick up and silly slap a tiger, though? And I'm sure there's like some special move commands, like the grabs and things that I don't know how to do. This boss feels a lot easier than the bull. So this is what the tiger from Fighting Layer did before that game. He used to work for Konami until Bandai and Namco gave him a better offer. And so they're like, hey, will you come be the boss in Fighting Layer? He's like, yeah, sure. Shoutouts to my pal Alex Easley, the announcer from Fighting Layer. You lose! Oh, B-Rat Boys, no. Boy, Kaneko is just like the epitome of like mediocre crap 90s arcade games, with the exception of like the Jackie Chan Fist of Fire games. Those were pretty fire, but like DJ Boy and B-Rat Boys. They made Shogun Warriors / Fujiyama Buster, Blood Warrior, just goofy. I mean, they're fighting games. Fujiyama Buster just looks terrible. The computer is a real pain to beat, but like competitively, I don't know how it would play. It's probably busted.
You're next! Try and punch me! You like to fight?
This is just going to be a boss rush, isn't it? Seems like you could stun enemies and then throw them when they're on the ground.
Let's go! Let's go!
Did you know that Dreamcast had a Castlevania 3D scrap? But there's a play. Yeah, Castlevania Resurrection. I made a video covering that, but I never uploaded it. I need to go back and do that just to kind of catalog it on the channel. I would rather play. I know that game was early in development, but I would rather play 64. Who knows? If Resurrection had been finished, it might have been better. But even the playable like demo is kind of eh. Now, given it is missing like a lot of collision and abilities, and you can only play as Sonya and all that stuff. IGA is not a big fan of Sonya, so she's non-canon currently, unfortunately. Yeah, the big damage is from your Oki in this game, your knockdown follow-ups. Yeah, you just knock them down at great injury to yourself and then throw them on the ground. Until the almighty about to die starts flashing. There we go. Oh, we're reusing bosses. It's boss reusing time, guys.
Let's go.
Like, why have those two original sprites and then toss this boss back out here again?
Let's go.
Come on, let's get this over with.
You're next.
Obey Caesar!
Do you like to fight?
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Let's go.
And by fun, I mean not at all. Why'd you do this to me, Rasmus? This is all your fault. Fighting these cartoony caricatures of Roman gladiators.
Let's go.
The mom from the commercial was right. I'll never get anywhere with these games. B-Rat Boys special is BBH 1 credit clear number 14. Yeah, I can think of 14 reasons not to play that game. Like, I like the idea that it's a beat 'em up where you have a health bar for the enemies, but why are they so spongy? Like I picked the guy up and threw him around the stage and his health bar didn't even move. Like, you can do spongy enemies, but, you know, just give them a longer health bar so that the player feels like they're making progress. This is just awful.
Let's go.
Oh, I finally started taking down some of that guy's health. Great.
You.
Throw him into his buddy. No, it went right through him. Great.
Let's go.
The ball and chain guy isn't so bad, but the sword when helping him really makes it pretty rough. I wish I got some sort of ultimate attack or something. That would be nice. But there's just nothing. And the health takeaway seems really inconsistent. Like, see, that guy had 1 or 2 bars left and he just dropped dead. But then you can, like, throw a guy 2 or 3 times and he loses no health, and it's like he loses a lot of health the next time. It's almost like they've got some sort of, like, set damage thing going on. Very strange. Much wonder. Ajax. That's that stuff you clean under the sink with, right?
Not to invade your village anymore.
Let's party!
Party, party.
Thus, the two complete their adventure. This evening's feast will happen again. There seems to be no end. Well, out of all the beat-em-ups I've played, this is definitely one of them. Thanks a lot, J. Kane and Panda. Chiru, that was one of the villains from King of Fighters, right? I mean, it's a 1992 Konami game. They really probably hadn't mastered the beat-em-up thing at that point. So you can't really be too hard on them for that. What an Asterix it was. With a little asterisk up there. All these old Konami games have the winners don't use drugs thing in them. Who in the chat remembers going to the arcade and seeing all the winners don't use drugs things in them? What will probably be our final game of the night. Sunset Riders. This is another classic. Love Sunset Riders. Yeah, I do find that kind of funny that you don't get to actually fight Caesar. You just fight those two guys and he's like, alright, we're cool. Demon Flip requests that I use Bob. So, sure. Is he one of the guys with a shotgun? I know Cormano uses a shotgun. I do love a good shooter. This game is like a possible to play Rolling Thunder. Run to avoid getting killed. Oh, I didn't know that was going to spread. Turned into Hino Kagetsuchi there for a second. I believe this game got a Super Nintendo port as well. Rolling Thunder and Rolling Thunder 2 are great games. They're just so hard. It's hard to enjoy them without like spending hours to learn enemy patterns. And they had the audacity to put platforming sections in a game that controls like a stick in the mud. Oh, I forgot you couldn't duck in this game.
Please continue.
I didn't know it would fall on me. Again, with the flashing red. I believe we've seen some variation of that every game we played tonight.
Marry me with my
Which
money.
gunner do you prefer in this game, the pistol or the rifle? Hey Kate, good to see you. Use Bob. I did, then I took my cold medicine. If you ever want me to fill you in on what Asterix is, just DM me. Yeah, you can shoot me a message, or I could just go to Wikipedia after and probably figure it out. But thanks for the opportunity. Which do you prefer, the game, the pistol, or the rifle? So I thought there were like 2 pistol characters and then 2 shotgun characters. Is there actually a difference between the 2 characters? I legit just thought it was like 2 that used the pistol and 2 that used the shotgun. And you're right, the sprite work in this game is very good. I'm not in love with some of the crazy garish colors of the main characters, like their pants and stuff. But I understand why they had to do it, to make the characters stand out from each other in an Old West setting. But this is somewhat like Violent Storm, and it's very colorful as a game. If that means like you had to have Cowboys with neon purple and pink pants, then so be it. Like, games nowadays are just so much freaking gray. So much gray. I miss some of the more vibrant sprite work of these Konami arcade games. Rifles are slower, but the pistol shoots more like radius is double. Yeah, I think you're right. It's like Steve or whatever the player 1 guy is. Of course, in this version, you can just pick. There was another Konami game. It was like a shoot 'em up, but with ninjas, and so you just threw like ninja stars. I think that was another Konami game. Like Mystic Warriors or something. I played that on Caliera back in the day with some of the ZSO guys. That was a good time.
Please continue.
We managed to get all the way to the end of the game without it desyncing, which was very rare for Caliera.
Not me.
I am Kate. Thanks for asking. Mine never. I was talking about it earlier. Mine never got really too rough. I just had like a lot of fatigue. But I'm doing much better. I just, like I said, with the fatigue, it was mainly hitting me at night, which I mean makes sense. And so by like 9 or 10 at night, I was just so tired. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this stream and keep up the energy I need till midnight. So I just called it. But like I was saying, I had several people reach out and say they hope I was feeling better on the channel and in Discord, so that was super nice. Mystic Warrior, yeah, that's it. Whoa. That's an outfit. Anyway, yeah, Mystic Warriors. Haven't played it in a while, but it is pretty good. You can't do that in games nowadays. Whoops, burnt myself.
Please continue.
So dumb, you could step on a rake and get hurt. Yeah, the enemy gunfire is picking up a lot now. I gotta be more careful.
Please continue.
At least he can get burned too. Since this is a extremely high skill run of the game right here.
You in heap big trouble.
This guy looks like he looked like an S&M guy in the intro, but now he just looks like a fireman without a shirt on. This is definitely a different interpretation of the West, where you got like men in pink pants and yellow vest suits riding around fighting shirtless fireman
Please
guys
continue.
on the back of the horse from Hokuto no Ken. Like I said, definitely a different interpretation of the Wild West than the one I learned about in school.
Please continue.
How was I supposed to get away from it?
Me in heap big trouble.
Makes me want to play Live Alive again, just to do the Cowboy chapter. To my knowledge, the only Old West section in an RPG. Unless you count the entirety of Gunman's Proof.
Terrible man. Please help.
All right, man. Don't worry about it.
So don't worry about it. Bunted by a rock.
We're gonna blow you away.
Mystic Warriors is a little better than this in terms of fairness. One credit clearing it is easy. Never seen a 1cc of that, but I'll take your word for it. It does make me want to go watch some of these old Konami games, like the speedruns and stuff. In particular, Asterix. I just want to look it up and see kind of what you're supposed to do in that.
Please continue.
Like, this feels like fairly fair. Like, if you took time to learn the patterns on this boss fight, for example, this wouldn't be too bad.
Holy smokes.
It's kind of difficult because the AoE off the fire hurts you. But it helps when you learn that you can actually dodge the grenades, and as long as you don't touch the fire, it won't hurt you.
That was a bang.
Oh yeah, the Cowboys of Mesa. I think I played that one once a long time ago. But I definitely played more of this. What is it with all these old Konami side-scroller beat-em-up, shoot-em-up games and having a cabaret dance? I don't know what the point is. There's either like this or the belly dancer in Violent Storm. And then the game turns into like eSWAT Cyber Police, where you gotta go get the 3 bad guys before the main bad guy.
Please continue.
This game certainly meets the quota of train levels. Oh, I don't.
Please continue.
Try using knives next time. Works better for close encounters.
Die, gringo.
Never bring a whip to a gunfight.
Please continue.
No, seriously, like, what does it want me to do? I guess I could try getting on the platform on the... That's how it's gonna be, huh?
Please continue.
There was definitely an easier way to do this, but I don't know what it is. My old age. Unless it's just straight up a matter of jump over him and hit him.
Please continue.
I don't like bosses like this that are just difficult because they're awkward to hit. I much prefer like the one in the last level where the 2 guys were throwing the stuff and it was just a matter of like you had to learn to position yourself. I like that a lot better than one like this.
Please continue.
In a game where enemies, particularly bosses, rather have so much health. Starts flashing red, it gets hit one time and starts flashing red. Definitely think there's a strat to it, I just don't know what it is.
Please continue.
Alright, let's get this over. There we go.
Adios, amigo.
Yeah, like for real, like if the lady had just never told him about it, the game would have been over. That would have been it. It's like, well, I'm going home. See you guys later. Oh, Carmano gets his hat after winning? That's kind of a neat touch. I mean, he doesn't need it anymore, right? Yeah, everybody's so colorful. It's ridiculous. Did it say they were offering $50,000 for this guy? Like, does Konami know about, like, inflation? Because in like 1800s Wild West money, that's a lot of money. Like that's a whole lot of money. Like these guys would have been lucky to get like $10 for arresting these guys. If I remember correctly too, this guy doesn't die. His sister is like, wait, he's not a bad guy. And so your character's just like, alright, I won't murder him like these hundreds of other people I just gunned down. This guy's walking around dual wielding rifles and he's rapid firing them like it's nothing. With his lime green pants.
Me ready for powwow.
See, I like this one a little bit better.
Please continue.
This boss is much better. I like this much better. Like when you die, you feel more like it's your fault rather than just like a cheesy game mechanic.
Please continue.
Me powwowed out.
Please, please, don't shoot my brother. He's only following orders.
All right, ma'am. We won't shoot him.
I just shot that dude like 600 times. Should have said, I won't shoot him again. They even put a bloody X over it. Is that just your guess, Demon Flip, or is that some actual, like, manual lore for, Sunset Riders? It's the second level. Every second level, you gotta have a movement stage here. Konami loves a good auto-scroller. Well, that guy came out of nowhere. Ludo, is that you?
Please continue.
This boss is definitely made easier by the spread fire.
Please
Oh, I keep forgetting I have a slide.
Hasta la bye-bye.
He could have killed me, but whatever. Yeah, we won't shoot him anymore. I mean, I don't know, like some of these old Konami games have lore, right? Like the entire manual translation department of Konami was on like hardcore methamphetamine when they wrote their manuals back in the day. Like legit, like go look up some of those NES Konami manuals. There was some wacky stuff in there, man. Like they weren't even trying to be canonically accurate. It's like, ah, whatever. Boy, old Steve or whatever he is got some insane upper body strength.
Please continue.
No, I want to get off the rope. This really should not be this difficult.
Please continue.
I deserve every bit of that. Definitely an interesting comparison between this game and Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder, the difficulty of Rolling Thunder was that when you died in that, you had to start back from like a checkpoint area. You didn't get to just keep going, whereas this game just lets you keep going. So it's pretty much the same game in practice, but one feels a whole lot easier than the other. This just turns into a game about how much money do you have. It becomes nearly secondary to your skill. Whereas Rolling Thunder is like, you gotta know what you're doing to beat that game.
Please continue.
That run animation. $1 per credit. Can I get up here?
Please
yeah, but
continue.
it's not really a good idea, is it? Yeah, this is definitely one of those Konami final boss experiences for sure.
Please continue.
Gotta beat this gunslinger tuxedo mask here so we can call it a night. Let Trent can go to bed. What a great first stream back, huh? We had some laughs, had some tears, mainly for the Asterix portion of the video. Friends became enemies, enemies became friends type of thing. Did Jaime ever get the phones working at his office? Just a lot of unanswered questions. Still have to tune in next week to find out.
Please continue.
He's like, oh, I had a bulletproof thing on. And yet I shoot him multiple times and he still doesn't die. I wish you could somehow aim diagonally without walking, but you can't seem to do that. unless you, I guess you can do this. Exploit, I found an exploit.
I say, bit of bad luck.
Bob did it. He saved everyone by killing everyone. Shout out to JonTron for that joke. No, you guys didn't help. You don't get any money. You don't get my obviously insanely hyperinflated 1800s money. We just made like $1 million in Wild West era money. In fact, where's a Wild West years? So the Wild West was from 1607 to 1920. So let's go to inflation calculator. Alright, let's see. How does this calculator work? So we'll say, what was the reward for one of those guys? Like $10,000? Let's do $10,000. We'll do starting at 1800. Let's see. Here we go. This is what I want. No, this is not what I want. How much? Okay, here we go. Equivalent value. So $10,000 in 1800 was the equivalent of. This is 10,000. 221,000. Damn. 271,271.43. Dang. So not as rich as I thought, but we're still pretty set because we made like $100,000 to $1 million. $1 million in 1800 is like 22 million today. So, and they spent it all on steak. I don't know, Steve and Cormano strike me more as like hungry man dinner type guys. But steakums. The final boss used to be a rider. That's how much a 1 credit costs today. You don't tell me to hurry up. Like, does the game ever actually kill you if you just don't do anything? I know Rabbit Punch will time out the bosses. They'll straight up just get mad and leave if you don't do anything. Oh yeah, it sent the buzzard to kill me. Did you guys see the kill buzzard? It's the equivalent of the bats in Rastan. Anyway guys, thanks everybody for stopping by. We had some good viewership tonight. I appreciate it. But hopefully next week no tragedy will befall you, boy. And we'll be back again. Thanks guys for stopping in. It's been a good stream. We'll see you next week.